As we start this story, we see a small little cafe. It has outdoor seating, very clean, very posh insides. The owner, her name is Tabitha. She's been owning this restaurant for about 3 years now. And she's there early morning getting everything prepared. Her one item that everyone is clamoring for is her minestrone soup. People from around the city come to our restaurant to get some of this soup. They never know why it's so popular, why people order it all the time. It's her best seller. Amongst her little finger sandwiches and other little knickknacks, people always want the soup. Always want the soup. But there is a secret on why her soup is so popular. And the reasons why she gets up early in the morning preparing the soup. She is a tall woman of a light brown complexion, very long, luxurious hair, green, sparkling eyes, pouty red lips, an athletic build to her body, but very ample in certain places. She turns many heads, but no one has ever grasped her attention or maintained her attention. So one day she was open up serving her meals, and there was a long line of people waiting to get some of her soup. Hopefully she made enough. But as she was pouring out the soup for one customer, she noticed that she's being watched. A gentleman was sitting at a table, but he didn't order soup. He just ordered a sandwich and something to drink. But he was staring at her intensely, which kind of made Tabitha kind of nervous. He was watching her every moment, every movement. Whatever she did, his eyes tracked her, just wondering what she's doing, all her actions. And he seemed not to want to go nowhere, even if it was closing time and he was the last one sitting there at the table. And so she approached him, saying, "Excuse me, we're closing. Did you need something else?" And he looked at her with his dark brown eyes and says, "I know what you put in the soup." And Tabitha's eyes bucked out her head. "Well, what do you mean?" she says. And he looks at her real coyly. "I know what you put in the soup. That beef minestrone doesn't just have minestrone and beef in it. It has one secret ingredient, and I found out what it was. That's why I stopped drinking it and eating it." So Tabitha looked at him and said, "Well, if you know what it is, what is it then?" Huh. He laughs. Can I ask you a personal question? And Tabitha wanted to humor him and says, what is it? How heavy is your flow? And Tabitha gasped and said, what do you mean? Like I said, how heavy is your flow? Shouldn't be your time of the month right now? So Tabitha looked embarrassed and says, that's none of your business. Yes, it's my business. Because your menstrual cycle is one of the ingredients in your soup. Tabitha looked astonished. How did you guess? Well, it's the main ingredient, but you do something else to it. Are you part Wiccan? Tabitha stutters. How did you find out? Because I am a warlock. And I want to talk to you. You have some considerable skills when you're making spells. But I can help you make a stronger spell that'll make people flock to your restaurants anytime, anywhere. Would you like to find out? And Tabitha says, you make an interesting proposal. What type of spells we're talking about? Oh, they're basically easy to make, easy to fix. But the incantations are something different. I brought my book, and the stranger whips out this big old-fashioned book. This has spells which can make anybody do anything you want. With the right materials and the right incantations, you can have people in the palm of your hands. So, do we have a deal? Tabitha looks for a moment. She thinks about it. And she shakes the stranger's hand. Oh, by the way, she says, what is your name? Just call me Xavier. Xavier, my name is Tabitha. Pleased to meet you. You have a nice restaurant, and you have a plethora of customers come in for your soup. Was the soup made fresh today? Yes, I make all my soups fresh. Good, good, good. You can continue what you're doing. But tomorrow, I'll bring my utensils and set up shop in the back. And by the end of tomorrow night, whatever customers order their soup, they will be under your spell. Under your spell. You will rule this city from your little cafe. Well, thank you. Then I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, okay. Matter of fact, I'll leave the book here. Please be free to look through it. and memorize pages 10 through 30. Don't have to remember all the spells, but just remember the motions. This will become very important in our process. So, I'll see you tomorrow night, or tomorrow afternoon, which would be better for me. Tabitha agrees. And might I add, you're a very lovely woman. You have many potentials. And one other thing, I only like to come out at night. Why? I'm not a daytime person, to put it that way. I always come out at sundown. And Tabitha looks, well, it seems like you're more of a vampire than a warlock. Oh, well, titles. I know a lot of things, and I will bestow upon you all this knowledge. Just read the book, and I'll be back. As the stranger leaves, Tabitha is pondering on what she shall do. Of course, she started looking through the book once she locked up, finding many interesting spells within the book, many ingredients that she has in her shop, and wondering what would she do with all those helpless slaves of her soup. And what do Xavier have in mind for those people? And why he only comes out at night? So many questions, so many possibilities.